Hey,
Hold
here.
on, let me jump in here and spill the beans.
Okay.
First, I'll warm up my voice a little bit. Me. Hey, here's a quick rundown of our 2023 AI folk music project and how you can participate. We're going to use artificial intelligence in any way to create a fictitious folk music tradition and submit it to a competition run by the Posthumanities Hub at the Swedish Royal Institute of Technology. They're friendly, trust me. We'll ultimately deliver a paper about our fake musical culture and our process, accompanied by any sound and image files and anything else that shares information about this fake music culture. This isn't your usual research project. Instead, we're doing it to see what lessons and new questions become obvious once we get to this new territory, having created a fictitious body of folk music. Did we learn more about how modern AIs work or how to work with them? Have we learned something about how we think about real cultures, including our own? Did we step into any ethical questions? What do words like folk and tradition even mean if we know they were fabricated by a non human? Let's go. Here's our knowledge base. It's just a Google document where we're keeping our notes. I'll show you all around in a bit, but first, I'll show how you might use it the most. You might be familiar with AI chatbots like ChatGPT. You just type as if it's a person, it types back to you, and you can converse with it to refine the results. Most popular AI systems today are trained by seeing everything that's been done before. That can mean different things for each system, but in short, imagine that it's seen the whole public side of the internet. When you chat with it, it sees what was said previously in the chat and presents something that would likely come next in the chat based on what it's seen in its training. You might think of it as a conversational search engine, so consider using something from our previously generated materials in your new prompts. We want our outcome to be AI generated as much as possible, so try asking it to expound upon things that were said before. Ask it for more detail about anything that seems curious. However, don't be afraid to reject what it gives you. These systems can be basic and safe, so encourage it to be adventurous. If it gives a weak response, you might call it out as weak, questionable, or derivative. Call it out if you encounter inconsistencies too. It might simply correct itself, but it might instead say that there are different fictitious opinions on the subject, and that gives us more to present. But we need music too. Refusion is free
And fun to use, but it's limited.
WaveTool and Sounds.studio let you work on separate parts of a bigger mix individually, but they also limit what you can do for free. And we don't expect you to pay for anything. MusicGen is the most promising for our timeline, and if you follow the steps in our knowledge base, it gives you some parameters that can shape the output. Other systems have these too. Higher values for temperature and top P generally make the outcome less predictable and more interesting. Here's how to use our knowledge base. Open the Google document, browse the artifacts and known facts sections for anything that seems curious to you, open an AI tool, and give it a prompt asking for more, whether it is filling in missing details, clearing up discrepancies, or creating media files that let you see and hear what's described in the text. If you get an outcome that seems relevant and interesting, then put it in our Google Drive, copy the link to it, and then add it to the artifacts section of our knowledge base with a little description and any relevant hashtags. Try to keep track of the prompts and settings that you used and add your name so we can give you credit and follow up. If you discover any new facts about our civilization, add them to the facts section and the document. And if you have any realizations about the process or any interesting encounters, mention them in the reflections section so we might include them in our paper. Feel free to consult the resources section and add to it if you discover any tools we all might like to use. Even though the process is centered on music, there are ways for anyone to contribute, whether in descriptive text or images showing the musical instruments, performance events, and how they dance to it, and maybe even their music notation system or alphabet. Just try to let an AI make the creative decisions as much as possible. This time around, we're doing the Project Whirlwind style. We need to deliver our paper and artifacts soon, so new entries will be cut off on December 6th. We don't want anyone to jeopardize their success in their currently enrolled courses, but consider if our prompt could inspire your current assignments or serve as a palate cleanser for a break or a creative warm up for other work. Just find an interesting detail in our knowledge base, get an AI to expand on it, and add that to our knowledge base for others to build on. In future endeavors, we'll develop and train our own models. But for now, we're using the end user text prompt approach. We'll submit the best of what we've got when the time comes. So join us.